So yesterday we are done with the flexor compartment of forearm, right? I hope you remember the names of muscles. Can anybody name the muscles what we have studied yesterday? Pronator teres. Very good. Extensor
Flexor
carpi
carpi
Flexor carpi radialis. Armaris longus.
Flexor carpi ulnaris first
Flexor carpi
layer.
ulnari.
Flexor
Flexor digitorum
superficialis.
superficialis. Flexor digitorum profundus. Flexor pollicis longus. And quadratus pronator.
Pronator quadratus. Very
Pronator
good.
quadratus.
One stretch. Very good. Nice. Okay, now we are doing extensor compartment. So extensor compartment, here also we have muscles arranged in two layers like superficial layer and deep layer. So these are the muscles which are associated with the movement of wrist joint and also with supination. Okay. No. So now let us see, there we had flexors, no, flexor compartment. Now we are having extensor muscles. So what are the various extensor muscles in the superficial layer? You see here, the first muscle what we are seeing is brachioradialis. This muscle was visible when we were doing flexor compartment, isn't it? Brachioradialis, isn't it? So just if you lift brachioradialis, I told you, we will see superficial branch of radial nerve. Okay, that is brachioradialis. Is it forming any boundary with any of the fossa we have studied?
Cubital fossa.
Cubital fossa. Which boundary?
Lateral boundary.
Lateral boundary. Okay, so that is the very first muscle we have, brachioradialis. After brachioradialis, we have extensor carpi radialis longus. Then we have extensor carpi radialis brevis. Then we have extensor digitorum. Then extensor digiti minimi. Then extensor carpi ulnaris. Okay, so these are the muscles what we see. Apart from that, we will also see this muscle, okay, which is Anconius. Okay, so these are all the muscles what we see in the superficial layer. I repeat, brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus towards the thumb, extensor carpi radialis brevis, extensor digitorum, extensor digiti minimi, and extensor carpi ulnaris, Anconius. Okay, now coming to after you like reflect the muscles of superficial compartment, you just try to recollect what you saw in the dissection hall. Of course, limbs will be kept for your revision. Okay, so if you just move away the muscles of superficial layer, we will come across the muscles of deep layer. So what are the various muscles we see? This is supinator. Do you remember supinator we studied with the radial nerve, deep branch of radial nerve? Isn't it goes deep to this muscle, supinator? So that is abductor pollicis longus, the other muscles what we have. Okay, then we have extensor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis brevis, and extensor index finger. Okay, so now let us see the origin insertion of these muscles. Now if you remember this humerus bone, so what are the, like medial epicondyle is giving origin to which muscle? Common flexor origin, isn't it?
Flexor.
Wait. This is head and this is medial epicondyle, and here we have common flexor origin. This is lateral epicondyle, and we know it is giving origin to common extensors. So all yesterday also when we studied flexors, I told you all flexors you just remember from humeral head is always medial epicondyle, and now this is extensor and the humeral head will be the lateral epicondyle of humerus. But on the posterior aspect, if you observe, we will also see the origin of Anconius. Okay. Okay, beta. Now let us see the muscles one by one. So first muscle what we have is brachioradialis. Okay. If you remember, I told you lateral supracondylar line there is a code BEA. Brachioradialis, extensor carpi radialis longus, and Anconius. They arise one below the other from lateral supracondylar line. I gave you a code BEA. Okay, BE as a course. BEA. Okay, so all three will come one below the other. The first muscle from this, like upper third of the lateral supracondylar ridge or line, whatever is easy for you, of humerus. and lateral intermuscular septum. It comes from. This brachioradialis is coming and getting inserted in the base of the styloid process. Okay, the styloid process, what we see with which bone here? This is radialis, no, but that means lateral aspect. That means styloid process of radius. Okay, lateral surface of radius. Now, what is the action brachioradialis does? It flexes the arm in mid-prone position like this. Okay, then it supinates the fully pronated forearm and pronates the fully supinated forearm. Okay, all extensor muscles with no exceptions, every muscle. Okay, all extensor compartment, including triceps and extensor compartment of forearm, they are all supplied by which nerve? Radial. Radial nerve. Radial nerve is coming from which cord of brachial plexus, beta?
Posterior cord.
Posterior.
Posterior. Ulnar cord is radial. Very good. Okay. Next, one below the other, you have extensor carpi radialis longus. Okay, BEA, just now I said. Okay, this is the second muscle, extensor carpi radialis longus. This is also same thing, lower third of the supracondylar ridge. Okay, that means lateral supracondylar line of the like humerus beta. Okay, common extensor origin and lateral intermuscular septum. Okay, then its insertion is coming till here. That is the lateral side and the dorsal surface of the base of the second metacarpal bone. First, second, third, fourth. Okay, base of the second metacarpal bone. Action of this muscle is it is extending hand. Okay, it is synergistic in abduction, means it is supporting the other muscles to bring about abduction of hand. With which muscle here? Flexor carpi radialis. Both of them are working together to bring about abduction of hand. Abduction is when it is moving away from midline. We know nerve supply is radial. Coming to brevis means what? Small. Longus means long muscle. So we have extensor carpi radialis brevis muscle, which is coming from the common extensor origin. What is the common extensor origin? Lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Okay. Then also this ligament we will study when we do elbow joint. We have radial collateral ligament. Okay, insertion is it is going and it is getting inserted into the dorsal surface of the second and third metacarpal bones. Okay, these are metacarpals, isn't it? Okay. Action is it is extending hand synergistic with flexor carpi radialis, radial nerve. Okay. Then we have extensor digitorum. In our textbooks, communist word is not used. What is the word digitorum indicating? Yesterday also we have studied.
4 fingers.
Yeah, it splits into 4 slips. Isn't it? Yeah. So this is common extensor origin. This muscle is originating from. That is a lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and then it is splitting into 4 tendons, which is getting inserted into the lateral and dorsal surfaces of all phalanges. Okay, distal phalanges are 4 fingers. Okay, extensor means they bring about extension of fingers and also the wrist joint. Okay, nerve supply is same, deep branch of radial nerve. Okay. So this you can actually see how this tendon is splitting. This is the extensor digitorum, and you can see this is splitting into 2 slips. Actually, the 2 slips which are laterally on either side, they are uniting and they are getting inserted into the base of the distal phalanx. Okay, this is proximal phalanx, this is middle phalanx, this is distal phalanx. Okay, so this tendon is splitting into actually 3 slips. 2 like slips which are on 2 extreme ends are joining and they are getting inserted into the base of the distal phalanx, and the middle slip is getting inserted into the base of the middle phalanx. Proximal phalanx, middle phalanx and distal phalanx. Okay. Then extensor digiti minimi. Digiti minimi means what? It is going and getting little finger. Okay, it is also coming from this common extensor origin, that is the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and it is getting inserted into the base of the distal phalanx. Okay, always on the dorsum of hand only, dorsal surface everywhere, because this is the dorsal aspect. Okay, that is the base of the it is getting inserted into the dorsal surface of the base of the first phalanx of the fifth finger. What does it do? It extends. Okay, nerve supply is radial nerve. Then we have extensor carpi ulnaris. So extensor carpi ulnaris, again same origin. It's very easy. Then that is nothing but the lateral epicondyle of the humerus from the common extensor origin, posterior border of the ulna. Insertion is medial side of the dorsal surface of the base of the fifth metacarpal bone. Okay. Then ulnaris. That was first, and this is the which like fifth metacarpal bone. Action, it extends the hand and it is working in collaboration with flexor carpi ulnaris in order to bring about adduction. Nerve supply is radial nerve. Then we have onconeus, this one. Okay, posterior part of the lateral epicondyle of the humerus, and then it is going and getting inserted into the ulna bone, posterior surface of the ulna. Posterior surface of the olecranon process and upper 1/4 of the posterior surface of ulna. The weak extensor, okay, and it is moving ulna during pronation, radial nerve again. Okay, now coming to deep muscles. So what is this muscle? We have supinator. So origin is coming again from the lateral epicondyle, also from the radial collateral ligament, annular ligament, what we see with the elbow joint, superior radio ulnar joint, supinator crest of ulna. Okay, all these are nearby words which you have to remember. Then insertion is, you can see, what is the name of this bone? Radius. Dorsal and lateral surface of the upper 1/3 of the radius. Okay, what is the action it does? As the name suggests, this action.
Supination.
Supination. Nerve supply is radial nerve. Okay, and we have abductor pollicis longus. This one. From this picture, you can make out from where is it coming? Interosseous membrane, no? Posterior surface of the radius, lateral part of the posterior surface of the ulna and interosseous membrane. Okay, then where is it getting inserted? Into the base of the first metacarpal bone. Okay, then abductor. Abductor means it is bringing about abduction of the thumb. Abducts, laterally rotates and extends thumb and abducts the wrist joint. Nerve supply is radial nerve. Then next we have extensor pollicis brevis. Brevis means, again this is also bringing about extension of thumb, but it is comparatively a smaller muscle. Okay, so dorsal surface of the radius it comes. Okay, adjacent part of the interosseous membrane. Okay, insertion is the base of the proximal phalanx of the thumb. Okay, extends the thumb and separated by radial nerve. Then we have extensor pollicis longus, middle 1/3 of the dorsal surface of the ulna, interosseous membrane, base of the distal phalanx. Okay, same thing, extension of the thumb and radial nerve. Then we have this last muscle, that is extensor indicis. Okay, from where is it coming? The posterior surface of the ulna and adjacent interosseous membrane. Then it is getting inserted into the extensor expansion, that is at the proximal phalanx of the index finger. It helps in the extension of index finger supplied by radial nerve. All these origins insertions are something like memory only, but I'm giving you an idea like how to study, but you should sit and study for yourself. Okay. Explanation part will be it's something like origin, insertion, nerve supply, action. Any of the muscle can be asked, like supinator is most probable question, onconeus is most probable question. Rest of the questions have not been asked. These all muscles are important for practicals during your viva, dissection, viva, not usually during theory exams. Okay. Anyhow, these nerves and all I will take in detail. Okay, retinacula also I will take in detail. Well, later I separate class. Then I will share one more biceps I didn't discuss as such. Can you see posterior compartment of arm on the screen? Emma?
Yes, ma'am.
So now this is actually very important muscle beta. It may come as 5 marks question. Triceps. Okay. So this muscle I didn't discuss as such, like separate, isn't it? So triceps means it has 3 heads. It has long head. From where is it coming? Infraglenoidal tubercle. Supraglenoidal tubercle gives origin to which muscle? Abhinav? Supraglenoidal tubercle, Chavi? Antraj will tell, that's why I will not ask. Long head of biceps, yesterday what we have studied. Okay, then long head is coming from the infraglenoidal tubercle of scapula. Then lateral head, if you remember humerus bone, I told you we have radial groove or spiral groove where the radial nerve is passing. Okay, so from the lateral lip of the spiral groove, we will see the lateral head coming, and the median head is coming from the entire posterior surface below the spiral line or the spiral groove. If you remember, I also told you like this is the medial supracondylar line, this is lateral supracondylar line. Attached to this we have two septa, medial intermuscular septum and lateral intermuscular septum. Okay, so the entire posterior surface of the humerus below spiral line, you will see this is giving origin to medial head. It's a very bulky muscle, triceps. Okay, then where is this insertion going to? Posterior part of the upper surface of the olecranon process of Anna. If it is going to posterior part, what does it mean? Anterior part of this olecranon process will have something for lubrication. So what may be there? Bursa.
Bursa.
Very good. What is the nerve supply of triceps? All extensor compartment, only one nerve we have completely. That is radial nerve. Okay, it is an extensor of something like this, extension of elbow joint. Okay, beta? So this is the picture which is taken from Vishwan Singh, and this is from Nettus Atlas. Okay, where you can see all the heads. Okay, this is long head. Okay, this is lateral head, and lower down everything is medial head. Okay, long head, lateral head, completely is medial head. It goes and gets inserted into the olecranon process, posterior aspect. Okay, this is all about triceps. Okay, so suppose if the radial nerve is damaged, suppose when the person is falling with outstretched hand, suppose if the spiral like radial groove is damaged, spiral groove, what happens? Radial nerve is damaged. No, obviously the triceps will be paralyzed. Okay, so basically what is the action of triceps? Extension of elbow joint. So that extension of elbow joint won't be possible if triceps is paralyzed due to the injury of radial nerve. Okay, which is running in the radial groove or the spiral groove. Okay. Long coneus muscle. Okay. So this is the radial nerve which is passing from there. This we have already studied. This picture will help us to just recollect the muscle. What is the name of this muscle in trapezium shape? Trapezius. Okay, attached to the medial border, what are the muscles we have? Levator scapulae, rhomboids minor,
rhomboid minor,
rhomboid major.
Above the spine, supraspinatus. Below the spine, okay. Then along the lateral border, teres minor,
teres
major.
Okay, what is this big bulky muscle? What we have here?
Latissimus dorsi.
Latissimus dorsi. One side, the latissimus dorsi is again cut like trapezius to show what are the muscles behind. Isn't it? So we know this muscle pretty well. That is serratus anterior. No, 8 fleshy slips it has. This side we have serratus posterior inferior. Okay. What is the name of this muscle, beta? Which forms round contour of shoulder. Okay. So these are of course gluteal muscles.
ये serratus posterior जो superior inferior दोनों है वो erector spinal इस मसल को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं क्या?
हाँ, ये और जो डीप है ना, ये अंदर की मसल है erector spine, तो इसके ऊपर की तरफ serratus posterior inferior, हाँ सपोर्ट, it supports बेटा, थोड़ा बहुत सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं.
Okay.
So ये सब already I have explained, I guess, no बेटा, latissimus, I think trapezius, latissimus dorsi, deltoid ये सब हो गया. Just a minute बेटा.